Here's a plain script. Netflix isn't just a place to relax and watch shows. If you use it the right way, it's one of the most effective and most underused English learning tools available. The difference between someone who watches Netflix for years without improving and someone who genuinely levels up their English comes down to a few specific habits. Let's go through exactly how to turn Netflix into a real learning system. First, why Netflix specifically works so well. Unlike random videos online, Netflix gives you consistent characters, ongoing storylines, and repeated vocabulary across episodes. When you watch a series instead of random movies, you hear the same people, the same speech patterns, and often the same types of situations again and again. That repetition is exactly what helps language stick, without it feeling like repetitive studying. Now, here's how to actually use it. Step 1. Pick a series, not a movie. A series gives you far more hours with the same voices, accents, and vocabulary than a single 2-hour movie ever could. Sitcoms are especially useful because the dialogue is fast, natural, and centered around everyday situations. Arguments, jokes, plans, relationships, exactly the kind of English you'll actually use. Step 2. Use English subtitles, always. Never native language subtitles if you can help it. Netflix makes it easy to switch. Go into audio and subtitle settings and set both audio and subtitles to English. This forces your eyes and ears to work together instead of your brain defaulting to reading in your own language. Step 3. Use the 10-second rewind constantly. Netflix makes this incredibly easy. Whenever you hear a phrase that sounds useful or something you don't quite catch, rewind 10 seconds and listen again. Do this without hesitation. This single habit, used consistently, is what turns passive watching into active learning. Step 4. Adjust playback speed when needed. If a show feels too fast to follow, slow it down slightly. If a show starts to feel too easy and slow, speed it up. Training your ear at a challenging but manageable speed is far more useful than watching at a speed where you either understand everything effortlessly or nothing at all. Step 5. Rewatch episodes, not just scenes. Because Netflix shows often have between 20 and 40 minutes per episode, rewatching an entire episode a few days later is very doable. The first watch, you follow the story. The second watch, especially without subtitles, you'll notice how much more you understand, which is one of the most motivating feelings in this whole process. Step 6. Keep a running phrase list. Whenever a character says something you want to remember, a way of complaining, agreeing, joking, or explaining something, pause and jot it down. Over weeks of watching, this list becomes a personal phrasebook made entirely of natural, real spoken English, which is far more useful than any generic vocabulary list. A few extra tips specific to Netflix. Choose shows set in everyday life rather than heavy fantasy or period dramas, since everyday shows use the kind of English you'll actually need in conversation. Stick with one show for a while instead of jumping around, since your brain builds familiarity with specific voices and speech patterns, which makes understanding easier over time. And resist the urge to binge mindlessly. Even one focused episode, with pausing and rewinding, teaches you more than 3 episodes watched passively. Here's the mindset shift that makes this actually work. You're not trying to understand 100% of every episode. You're using an entertaining story to keep yourself engaged long enough to notice, repeat, and absorb real language patterns, one episode at a time. Do this consistently, a few focused episodes a week, and you'll notice something happening naturally. Jokes land before the subtitles even finish. Phrases you've heard characters use start slipping into your own speech without you trying. And a show you're watching purely for enjoyment quietly becomes one of the most powerful tools shaping the way you actually speak English.